It's March 27th, 2025. The empire's collapsing, the border's soft, and the fifth column's growing. This is North of Collapse, and today we're going to make something clear. Not everybody living in Canada is a Canadian patriot. Patriotism isn't about paperwork, it's alignment. It's not about waving the flag, it's knowing what the flag means and what to do when the wind turns hostile. Today, and although some may call this un-Canadian, we're going to draw a line between patriots and collaborators. First off, what is a Canadian patriot? There's no skin color, no language, il n'y a pas de couleur de peau, il n'y a pas de langue qui est pertinente. A Canadian patriot is someone who believes in national continuity, not just nationalism. It's about understanding that political parties will come and go, but that the idea of Canada is here to stay. It may evolve, but the fundamental principle guiding our existence, freedom, respect for each other, multiculturalism, these are all here to go. We don't have an American melting pot. We are a multicultural society, and some people don't like that. We may have gone too far at times, but that is one of our values. We don't assimilate. We share our Canadianness while sharing who we are. But a patriot, they don't fantasize about being the 51st state. They don't just think that sovereignty is an asset that we can trade for American protection. They understand history, our shared history, from Flanders Field to Juno Beach. They understand that this makes up our collective identity, that makes up who we are. Even though Wayne Gretzky may have, done whatever we've done, he's still a great Canadian hockey player. From Maurice Richard, Patriot, Carey Price, yeah, I'm going to name drop a lot of Montreal Canadiens, because, well, that's part of what it means for me to be Canadian. But at the end of the day, a patriot doesn't parrot American talking points about freedom because Americans aren't free. A patriot asks, freedom from whom and freedom to do what? Second, a Canadian patriot understands the difference between imported ideology and indigenous duty. And I'm not talking about oppressing indigenous people and telling them what to do. We need to listen and learn because they were here first. They know this land better than any of us. But what we need to understand is that MAGA logic is not Canadian logic, and that American freedom culture is just unregulated empire LARPing or cosplay. A patriot doesn't need a fucking flag on their truck. They need alignment with what matters most. That is Canadian survival, Canadian prosperity, and the duty we owe to those who came before us and the young people that are growing up here in our country. Because they're our future. They're the future stewards of the great resources that America and the Maple MAGA fifth column are trying to steal from us. They are the future stewards, and we are training them, and we must protect them. Third, you know what a non-patriot is? It's someone who would surrender Canada for a tax break or some cultural grievance. The Maple MAGA column, fifth column, is not wrong because it's conservative. This is a post-ideological broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. The Maple MAGA fifth columnists are wrong because they are more loyal to a collapsing foreign empire than they are to their own country. If you'd rather serve Texas than defend Tuktoyak, sorry if I butchered that, you're not a patriot. You're a foreign asset. And you know what? Since the trucker convoy, we've had a lot of those traitors in our midst. And we need to clean house. I'm not advocating for violence, but they need to be named and shamed. And there's time where the government's going to need to do a damn thing about it. Fourth, patriotism and collapse, it's about preparation, not just performative pride, not just waving the flag and fucking going, yes, when Connor scores that goal and buries the U.S. after we boo the shit out of their lousy anthem. A real patriot's going to join civil defense organizations, not do convoy cosplay. They're going to learn first aid, not Facebook memes. And they're going to buy radios and water filters. Not bumper stickers, unless it's a damn bumper sticker for their local civil defense corps organization, because preparedness is going to be the new patriotism because of what we're facing, because of that empire down south that is collapsing and is coming to try to get everything that we own and that we must pass down to the next generation in our role as stewards. Fifth, the real divide here in Canada, even though we're in the middle of an action, it's not between left and right. It's between sovereign and subservient. You can be left-wing and sovereign. You can be conservative and sovereign. Regardez Quebec. Look at Quebec. Probably the most left-leaning province in the country. One of the most patriotic right now. And props to François Legault. Something I never thought I'd say as a Montrealer, as an Anglophone Montrealer. Props to him for standing up to American tyranny. But if you take your cues from another nation's media, Fox News, memes, or mandate, you're not a Canadian patriot. You're an asset or a liability or someone who needs to be educated on what it means to be Canadian. You know, in the months ahead, the border is going to be tested, and your neighbors will be, and so will your principles. It's not going to be about unity. It's about filtration, and the filtration has already begun. So now is the time to recognize what it means to be a patriot, and the time to recognize non-patriots, to name them, to shame them, and to watch them, and watch what they're going to do when the Yankees come up a-rollin' singing Yankee Doodle fucking do. This is a critical juncture for Canadian society, for all of us as Canadians. We haven't been tested this hard, perhaps since World War II or Korea. And the game is different, but the stakes are the same. The stakes are our independence. And we must look back. Look back at the great men and women who came before us. We must draw inspiration. We must draw preparedness. And we must learn from the past so that we can fight what the Americans want to turn our future into. I'm Kevin. It's been a pleasure as usual. Elbows up.